Hello and welcome to Double Jump Gaming News. My name is Cody.
And my name is James. Today we will not be focusing on a specific game, but rather we'll be discussing the purpose of remastering a game and whether or not porting a game and selling it for full value is beneficial for customers. But first, let's get into the news. To start this week, Activision released the official trailer for the up-and-coming Call of Duty UW-2, or World War II. The game will be taking the long-running franchise back to its series roots in World War II. This is a very drastic change for the series, which has been moving forward in time for its setting in recent entries. However, perhaps after the success of Battlefield 1, which was set in World War I, and the negative response toward Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, gamers might be wanting some more classic warfare in the library again.
Some other trailers released this week was the story and gameplay trailers for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. The trailer introduces the main villain of the game to be a fusion of Sigma and Ultron called Ultron Sigma. Many of you may recognize Ultron as the main villain of Avengers Age of Ultron and Sigma as the main antagonist of the Mega Man X games. In the second trailer, Capcom revealed new gameplay footage showing up a few of the new fighters available in the game. This included Hulk, Thor, Chun-Li, Strider, Chris Redfield, Hawkeye, and Ultron. The trailer also showed off another Infinity Stone, the Space Stone, as well as the release date of September 19th.
Also this week sees the retirement of Genyo Takeda. Takeda-san joined Nintendo in 1971 and was responsible for an early predecessor to Duck Hunt laser clay shooting, and developed the first video game Nintendo ever released, EVR Race. Following achievements such as the Punch-Out arcade game, which happened to also be one of the first times Nintendo experimented with two screens for one game, as well as Punch-Out for the NES, Super Nintendo, and Wii. Not only that, he developed the Nintendo 64's analog stick and led the development of Nintendo Wii.
Takeda was also one of the two representative directors at Nintendo due to the passing of Satoru Iwata back in 2015. Genyo Takeda will be succeeded by Ko Shiota, the current general manager of Nintendo's Platform Technology Development Division. In other news, First 4 Figures released a company overview trailer to show off their recent Kirby, Mario, Pac-Man, Zelda, Soul Calibur, and other gaming properties that they've produced as figurines. In that teaser was the announcement of the addition of Activision, which was played by a sound effect of the Aku Aku mask from Crash Bandicoot, which will be seeing a remaster for PS4 this June 30th, as well as a familiar sound from the first Spyro the Dragon game. First 4 Figures then went on to tease an early prototype after receiving enough supporters on their social media pages. That prototype revealed that classic Spyro will be given a figurine. The figurine is based on the appearances in the original PlayStation games, which is making fans believe that Spyro will follow Crash's footsteps. Possibly related news also showed that Blue Point Games, responsible for remasters such as the God of War collection on PS3, the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and most recently Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection on PS4, is hiring for a Sony Classic to bring to the current generation of gaming. This brings it back to our topic on the idea of remastering games.
But while you're away, take a look at doublejumpgamingnews.com for more gaming articles and videos.
So a little bit of breaking news happened as we were finishing up recording here. Nintendo just dropped a new trailer for the new Nintendo 2DS XL. It's a follow-up to the 2DS and new 3DS line, so it's like a combination of the everything we kind of missed sort of opportunity. It's $50 cheaper at $150, and we'll be releasing this July 28th. So it's a little bit cheaper than your average Nintendo 3DS, new Nintendo 3DS XL. There's a huge difference between the two in terms of processing. So if it's about the same as a new 3DS, just without the 3D capabilities, and it's $50 cheaper. It comes in black and blue from what we've seen so far. Don't know about any other colors besides just the primarily black and a blue outline to it so far. But this will also be a clamshell display as opposed to the original 2DS, which was just one flat tablet feeling device that looked like a doorstop. Anyway, back to our normally scheduled broadcast.
At the University Bookstore, we have an excellent selection of competitively priced books and classroom necessities for students. We have Warhawk gear ranging from athletic apparel to comfy sweatshirts the whole family can enjoy. The textbook rental service is also available for students to check out their required readings for class. You can also find and order books, apparel, and gift items from our online catalog, located at UW-Whitewater Bookstore.com. The University Bookstore. We provide for your college experiences.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad,
learning another language,
and listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the directions of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
Welcome to the University Center Reservations. We are here to provide an abundance of rooms to make your events possible. We schedule events in multiple buildings around campus. Your meeting could be for business or a party. We got you covered. Performances are also an option. Solo, duo, or the whole organization. Don't be shy. Stop by our office or visit our website for more information. We would love to help you out.
Here at UWW, we put a lot of emphasis on shaping your involvement. Involvement helps you get to know more people with similar values and goals as yourself. The Student Involvement Office can help you get involved with organizations on campus, or we can help you start a brand new one. So what are you waiting for? It's time to shape your involvement at UWW. If you'd like to learn more, stop by UC 127 or contact us at involvement@uww.edu or call 262-472-6217.
Impact is an LGBT organization here on campus. It allows individuals with any identity to come together in a safe space to provide education and awareness of LGBT issues for the community. Some campus events that Impact hosts are the Second Chance Dance, Coming Out Day, and the Drag Show. For more information, stop by the Pride Center located in the Warhawk Connection Center in the UC, or visit our Facebook or Instagram pages for more information or our meeting times.
Welcome back to Double Jump Gaming News. I'm Cody.
And I'm James.
Now, usually during one of these segments, we would talk about a popular title, but this week we wanted to look at both the logistics about remastering a game with, like taking an old classic video game and kind of bringing that to the current generation. I mean, a lot of times this is a nostalgia factor thing, but then you're looking at games where it's like Mario Kart 8, and we literally just saw that back in, I think, 2014, 2015. And it's already on the Nintendo Switch within 3 or 2 years after its initial release, which, yeah, it's something you can just, take and easily put on your new system that doesn't have enough games. But, I mean, when a lot of people pick up a new Nintendo system, they want a new Mario Kart. They don't just want the old stuff. Not to say Mario Kart 8 is bad, but it's not 100% what people might be expecting. So I guess we should probably look at the logistics of, what should be a good remaster idea and what should be bad, and also what kind of remasters are kind of bad in general.
Right. Well, I think when you talk about remasters, it's literally building a new game from the ground up by using the same old
inspiration and trying to
I think when we're talking about good ones, one I think of is Resident Evil.
Okay. Resident Evil 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which they remastered that, and it was for the Nintendo GameCube. And then they basically released it for a whole bunch of different consoles. The one I played is the one they released on the PS4.
Which was based on the GameCube version, but
yes, and they just essentially all that was they just upgraded the graphics.
Right.
I don't really consider that a remaster though.
Right. So I mean, we're talking. And this is like some kind of Inception thing, but for that game, here's Resident Evil on PlayStation. There's a Saturn version at the same time. Okay, there's a PlayStation and a Saturn version. Yeah. Then you have the GameCube version, which is actually, you can't use any of those assets. Maybe one or two, maybe not so many, but essentially you have to rebuild every single piece of artwork again. Yeah. And you actually have to take that time and do new models. It might even take longer to develop. Then you have the ones where they take essentially what was made for the GameCube, and they still have those leftover asset files, which the GameCube couldn't produce at such a high quality. So it's there already, or they have access to those files and they can easily, create a similar one at a higher resolution, and they just slap that onto the character model, and suddenly that shirt looks even more detailed because it already was detailed, you just couldn't see it. But you've got then, games where it's like, well, this is warranted because I can't buy this anymore. But then you have the games where it's like, I could literally buy Mario Kart 8 on the shelf right now.
Right.
And
that also comes down to pricing too. Yeah. If you think about it. I mean, if you can get the old game for, like $10 or something still, and then they release it again for a new console, and then they charge you $60 for it. That's ridiculous. I think that's ridiculous. It's because it's just they don't do anything new with it. It's not like a new game really. They're just making it available for.
There's some justification because the performance gain you get, like if you care about the resolution it's going to be playing at the speed it'll be playing at, whether it's a consistent smooth frame rate. But then you get games where it's like, I want to play this again, but going back to it is kind of harsh. Where you have PlayStation 1 games where you want to appreciate it still, but you still have those like, wow, I can't even make out what this character looks like. It's so low quality. Because it's not the fault of the developer. It is just not capable of showing that off. And now you can do it, and they're even saying that when the developers are talking about how they're remastering Crash, it's like, we have no idea what this character is supposed to look like. There's no actual concept art left over. We made an assumption that the character is supposed to look like this if he was like more detailed and close up, but we really don't know what's going on with this thing because it's so weird looking. And I will look at some of this stuff, it's like, it's not the same because it doesn't look the same, but I understand why it can't look the same. It's because whatever I saw might have been a misinterpretation between what I see, my brain understands it, and what another person might understand it, because it looks so weird sometimes.
Another thing too is, when you talk about the PlayStation era, that was a really experimental time when you think about for gaming. Because that's when they introduced 3D.
Yes.
And developers didn't know what to do with 3D at the time.
Even the PlayStation itself did not have the best when it came to bringing up
camera. That was like the biggest camera.
Camera, and how the camera would then call up different, how it would bring in textures and how that would map, and suddenly you get textures that would just stretch across a polygon as you're getting closer to it, because it doesn't call that in and bring it in at the right rate, and it just like suddenly looks like everything's stretching when you're going further away.
Right.
And
so
then,
when you're remastering a game like that, when you go back to those times, you can see what developers were trying to do with the technology, but the technology didn't provide them the ability to do it.
And that's why
they just didn't understand it.
Yeah, and that's
what a remaster is great about.
And that's why games that use like cartoony looks so good today still. Like Crash is not 100% terrible to look at, but then you look at Metal Gear.
Oh yeah.
And you see like, oh, they tried realism. Oh, that is not a person's face.
It's weird because I played Metal Gear like a couple years ago.
Nobody has eyes. Nobody has a mouth.
I actually really enjoyed it. The character models are ridiculously looking. They look ridiculous.
Yes.
But that game worked because it was essentially 2D. It was always top down.
Yeah.
And so it was essentially
it's 2D literally game. Hey, let's take this game that's already was top down and let's just make it have a Z-axis and not really have to worry too much about how the gameplay is, because we know it works.
But you know what sucked in that game? The 3D parts. Where you had to sniper wolf. Stupid sniper rifle.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
And so that's what makes I think good remaster Also like a remake, I guess,
Yeah.
too.
They did a remake on GameCube again for Metal Gear, and I played through that. I didn't finish it. I got to almost to the very end, and playing through that and playing it again, it's just like, wow, that's kind of what it was supposed to be like, I guess. And I kind of remember this part, and it's like, oh, that looks close. And then sometimes it's just like, oh, that's a little bit different, but it's not terrible. It's like a really good one-to-one transition, and it's like they were really faithful. It's like, I guess the question is, how faithful do you want to keep these? Because you've got fans who care about how all these levels work, and then you've got, you know, the ones that, yeah, maybe we should change this and that, you know, just to make it a little bit easier for the modern day, or just, you know, not make it so terrible looking or anything like that. There's a huge debate of who to please and how to please, and
well,
all
I mean, those
of that
old
that goes
fans
into
are going to
account.
like the old game no matter what.
Mm-hmm. Unless it doesn't run right or something, or you can't perform. Like if there's a glitch or something you can't perform it, sometimes it's not as fun. And
but a lot of the fun of those old games is nostalgia. Yeah. And so, I mean, but the people that like the old games probably still own them. Mm-hmm. So I think when it comes to remastering an old game, it's a lot of bringing in a new audience. Right. Yeah, you have to consider the new audience, and I think that's what you should focus on when you remaster a game. Mm-hmm. And as long as you still respect the material when you make it, I'm sure fans, I think, will still like it. But yeah, you're gonna have those fans that just will always like the original no matter what, because it's just something that from their childhood that they love. Right, and then there's just the demand of, like, you get the demand for wanting to remake Call of Duty 4, and it's like, are you serious right now? Like, I mean, I never understood that. Like, I never thought Activision would respond and do it. Like, I remember there was a fan petition to get it started, and I don't know if it was the fan petition, but it actually happened eventually that the game came out, and I mean, in the stupidest way, you had to buy Infinite Warfare on a special edition to get it. But it's like, it shows like how much people care about Call of Duty 4, but it's like, you could boot this on your PC right now, and yeah, it has some weird anti-piracy stuff for online, but for the most part, it's pretty playable still today. And it's like, you didn't totally need this, but it's there. Well, that's all the time we have today for this, but be sure to check out doublejumpgamingnews.com for more gaming news and reviews, including retro reviews of some of your old titles that we talked about today.
At the University Bookstore, we have an excellent selection of competitively priced books and classroom necessities for students. We have Warhawk gear ranging from athletic apparel to comfy sweatshirts the whole family can enjoy. The textbook rental service is also available for students to check out their required readings for class. You can also find and order books, apparel, and gift items from our online catalog, located at UW-Whitewater bookstore.com. The University Bookstore, we provide for your college experiences.
It has been taking away our potential for decades, but since 2009, campuses nationwide are becoming tobacco-free. Tobacco has been eliminated from bars, restaurants, and many other public places. Why should our schools be any different? For more information, visit the Ambrose Health Center.
What does it mean to be a Warhawk?
It means allowing myself to dream big and think outside the box.
Pushing the limits of what I think is possible.
Seeing ideas through from start to finish.
Collaborating with professors and peers.
And seizing opportunities in the community to put my knowledge to use.
I'm studying abroad.
Learning another language.
And listening to the stories of others.
I'm making lifelong friends and fearlessly sharing my gifts with the world.
As a Warhawk, I stay balanced,
take great care of myself,
and get out of my comfort zone.
I refuse to let the past determine my future.
And I'm taking confident steps in the directions of my dreams.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense.
And other times it couldn't be more exciting.
But I will keep my goals in mind
and never quit.
Because
that's the Warhawk way.
Here at UW, we put a lot of emphasis on shaping your involvement. Involvement helps you get to know more people with similar values and goals as yourself. The Student Involvement Office can help you get involved with organizations on campus, or we can help you start a brand new one. So what are you waiting for? It's time to shape your involvement at UW-W. If you'd like to learn more, stop by UC 127 or contact us at involvement@uww.edu or call 262-472-6217.
Impact is an LGBT organization here on campus. It allows individuals with any identity to come together in a safe space to provide education and awareness of LGBT issues for the community. Some campus events that Impact hosts are the Second Chance Dance, Coming Out Day, and the Drag Show. For more information, stop by the Pride Center located in the Warhawk Connection Center in the UC, or visit our Facebook or Instagram pages for more information or our meeting times.
Hey, I'm Justin and welcome to our Game of the Week. This week I'll be giving my impressions of the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3 Open Beta, their newest real-time strategy title, and my hopes for the full release. The Open Beta went on for 3 days and gave its participants the opportunity to try out its online versus mode that the previous installments were well known for. My first few matches were 1v1s against my little brother, so both of us could learn the mechanics of the game and how the game in general felt compared to the previous installments. I played my orcs while my brother played the Eldar. The first thing I liked about the beta was the fact that they returned to the old Dawn of War 1 base building format, where you can expand your base into parts of the map, other parts of the maps, and different buildings produce different units. You still have to go out and capture resource points to help gain requisition and power, which are both used to upgrade your base and produce more powerful units. One new addition to the game is elite points. Before the match even begins, you can select up to 3 different elite units that you can use in-game. These units tend to be very powerful commander units that can single-handedly change the tide of the battle. On each map, there is an elite point generator that can be captured to help increase the rate in which you earn these elite points. These points tend to be highly contested, and a lot of the battles on the map are centered around them. By mid-game, both of us had a very stable economy and army. The gameplay feels a lot like StarCraft with the amount of abilities units get and the speed of the game. My commander, Warboss Goreguts, led my horde of orcs against my brother's Eldar army, led by the fearsome Jane Czar. My army shined in large-scale battles where the sheer amount of orcs I commanded was able to overwhelm anything my brother's Eldar could throw at against it. However, the Eldar are meant to be played as a hit-and-run army, specializing in striking swift and hard and then backing away. Eventually, we both started pushing at each other's power cores, which was our objective to destroy. It felt like League of Legends, where you had to destroy a power generator and turrets before you could damage the power core. By this time, both my brother and I had called down our gigantic units. I commanded Beauty the Morkanaut, a towering orc mech that had more health than anything else in the game. My brother was in command of the Wraith Knight Taldir, the Eldar's huge yet swift towering giant. Both armies at this point felt great to play and played as expected compared to the previous Dawnward games. Even though I lost the match, I enjoyed every second of it. Hopefully the campaign and other game modes in the full release will be as enjoyable. That's all the time I have for today. Back over to you guys.
Thank you, Justin, for that hands-on impression of the beta of Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 3. That's all the time we have for this show, but be sure to join us next time.
Also, be sure to check out doublejumpgamingnews.com for more gaming news and reviews.
I'm Cody.
And I'm James.
See you next time.